Good evening. I'm George Ginger, and welcome to the Bicentennial Celebration Kickoff Friday, June the 20th, 2025 on the Canton Square. This is the start of a 9-day of Canton, Illinois look at the past, present, and future. We have the pleasure to have the cruise-in and many of the activities on the square. I hope you enjoy the program. Thank you.
Right back into the system by buying a gift of lunch or,
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the opening ceremony of Canton, Illinois' 200th birthday celebration. You cannot imagine how excited we are to get this thing started. The group behind me, you'll learn about them, but we've been planning for a really long time. I want to welcome you also to the 34th annual Canton Cruise-In. We were very honored as a chamber who hosts this event. We were honored to be asked to have our Cruise-In be the kickoff. So we are really glad you came out. We've been through a lot today with the weather. And I almost felt like today was kind of what the Canton's history has been like in the past. We've been through a lot of things over the last 200 years, but we still continue to be resilient, right? We continue to be, and this kind of event shows that. So we're very happy about that. So what I want to do, we want to not make this very long, so I am going to introduce you to Rick Kleindest.
Thank you. This is Carla Bobel. She's the Chamber Director, so good job, Carla. Yeah, great job again with the Cruise-In. How many years is this now? 34 years of the Cruise-In. And then she started off with a bang, our celebration. Good job, Carla. This morning I was talking to you, and I was kind of a little worried about the weather because there was this, at 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock, there was no weather coming in, no rain.
Just right above us.
And then at 10 o'clock, this blob comes in right over Canton. And it stayed there for a long time. Nowhere else in the Midwest was there rain except in Canton. So kind of the Canton coast there almost. But anyway, beautiful evening. We're glad you're here. This is a very exciting moment for all of us. I do want to recognize some of the donors that made this event possible for the next 11 days. We have them listed on a donor board over at our tent over here where we're selling some merchandise. There's also an official bicentennial booklet that has not only the history of Canton in there for the last for the 100 years, the 150 years, but also our 200 years. It's got the donors listed in there, and it's got the events listed in that. So make sure you stop by the tent over there and pick up our official booklet that lists the donors. And also the major donors, you see these wonderful banners all through the Jones Park here, all through Main Street, downtown. Those are our major donors. Again, when you see those, thank them because they're the ones that's making these events possible over the next 11 days. I'd also like to recognize Stacy Wise, who you'll see in just a minute or hear from or be introduced to in just a few minutes, but she's responsible for this beautiful logo for their 200th Bicentennial Celebration. So good job, Stacy. You did a great job with that. And we thank the Snowmans for putting up this logo here on the city building, and that's going to be up there for many years. So at this time, I'm going to ask Bill Lightsey to come up and give our invocation to start off our celebration. So Bill Lightsey, he's a 1963 graduate of Canton. He was a high school teacher for many years, head coach for football and baseball. And so let's give him a warm welcome.
I believe that's probably the first time I've ever been applauded for saying I'm going to give a prayer. If you are of the faith, I would ask you to join me in prayer. If you are not, I would ask that you quietly contemplate the impact of 2 centuries on the city of Canton. Join me now in prayer. God of all ages and eternity, we pause in our celebration of 2 centuries of community existence to recognize your presence in the development and character of this city. We thank you for giving us the forebears who shaped the municipal, industrial, commercial, educational, and social structures of Canton. we, as the scions and inheritors of these builders and shapers, are standing on their shoulders today. We ask that with your guidance and direction, that we and those who follow us continue to grow and prosper the fortunes of Canton. As we remember the past and consider the future, we pray that in your grace and with your influence, Canton is an inclusive and prosperous community where lives are meaningful and aspirations are realized. Be our light and our guide, O God. We ask these things as sojourners in this your world and creation. Amen.
Thank you, Coach. Much appreciated. Ready to start off our celebration here. So at this time, our chairman, Mike Wilders, is going to present both the American flag and the bicentennial flag to Mayor McDowell, who will present it to the American Legion for us to raise that. The bicentennial flag is there's only one flag like it, and it's going to fly during our ceremonies here over the next week. So, yep.
If you're seated, please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, which will be performed by accomplished singer and performer who is both active in her church and in her Canton community, and most affectionately known as Miss A to her third grade students at Westview School, Tori Abenito. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air,
Thank you, Tori. That was outstanding. Celebrations as significant as a community's 200th birthday require a tremendous amount of cooperation between many moving parts. All of that has certainly happened with the planning of this bicentennial, and it starts at the top with the mayor. Canton native Kent McDowell is the city's 37th mayor. He's now in his third term, having served since 2017. Kent is a retired chief of Canton Police Department, a retired longtime Canton High School assistant football coach, and serves as an ex officio member of the Canton Bicentennial Committee. Please welcome Mayor Kent McDowell.
Thank you. I want to introduce to you this committee that I appointed, seems like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Mike Wohlers, General Chairman, Canton native, local historian, and owner and operator of Canton Napa. Carla Babel, Secretary, Executive Director of the Canton Area Chamber of Commerce, which is also celebrating 100 years this year, and has planned community events for many local organizations over the past 20 years. Carla Babel. Carol Davis, Events Coordinator, founding member of Spoon River Partnership for Economic Development, and retired VP at Spoon River College. Rick Kleindienst, Treasurer, Canton native, and President and CEO of the Mid-American National Bank, formerly known as the National Bank of Canton. Kevin Stevenson, Public Relations, the voice of Canton, retired WBYS radio personality and retired VP at Mid-American National Bank. And Stacy Wise, marketing designer of the 2025 bicentennial logo and commemorative coin, Canton native and marketing officer of Mid-American National Bank. If you haven't seen the coins, she did an outstanding job. They're going to be definitely a keepsake. They told me that they would give me 10 to 20 minutes to make a speech, so I'm going to milk that down to about a minute and a half. Back up, don't push the envelope. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 34th Annual Canton Cruise-In. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today as we kick off the 10 days of the celebration of our city's bicentennial. Canton has experienced many ups and downs during the 200-year history. It all started with a plot of land donated by Nathan Jones in 1825. Since then, it has seen development of farms, mines, railroads, cigar factories, farm implement factories, brickyards, and other industries. Some failed, some left. Some were left behind after better and more efficient methods were developed. The city has seen its troubles come and go. We've had tornadoes, fires, and a devastating downtown explosion. Yet one thing has stayed the same as the people of Canton. Canton has seen generations of people born, live, and die here, while others have moved on. Still, here we are as a community. As I've said before, we are hardy people. We persevere. When things turn downward, we lean in and keep moving, moving forward. We adapt, find ways to endure the troubles, and hold out for brighter days. Days like today. We're all here today enjoying the weather and local tradition of admiring good, solid United States of America automobile craftsmanship. Yet we're looking forward to the future. We're working towards improving things for today's residents and future generations. Still, some days, like today, it's enough to enjoy the day and be thankful for being here where 200 years of history have brought us. So my fellow Cantonians, welcome to the 34th Annual Cruise In. Please take advantage of the next 10 days of bicentennial celebration and events to learn more about our city's history as we celebrate our heritage. And for the next 200 years, like it has been for the first 200, it's always a great day to be a little giant. May God bless the United States. May God bless Canton. May God protect us and keep pushing us forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Kent. We like when their speeches are short, right? All right, I have the pleasure of introducing and bringing up our local historian, our chairman of the Bicentennial Committee, and a Canton graduate from 1968, I believe, Mr. Mike Walters.
Happy birthday to Canton. This is going to be 200 years. From the start of this, our committee has always said for the last 3.5 years that the present, the future is what mounts, and the current. That's what mounts, and that's what everything has been about for 3.5 years now, is remembering. So we've done a lot of history stuff, which is a past. We're in the current right now in the middle of this. We're getting started. This is the middle of this, and this is where we want to go. We want to bring Canton together as friends again. We want to make sure that everybody's proud to be from Canton. There's going to be 9 days of activities. There's going to be 41 different activities that is listed, and make as many as you can, because a lot of them is going to be fun. And here we go again, the past, the present, and the future, and that's what we're after. There's 3 events that I particularly like, and that's the cemetery walk. Carol's right there, and she has put together 2 different things. She's put together the Dust Bowl. I'm sure everybody's heard that. And she's also done the, what's the other one? The Chautauqua. And I want to talk a little bit about Chautauqua. I've had a lot of people ask me, what is Chautauqua? Why is it called Chautauqua, and what do they do? In the late 1800s and the early 1900s, Chautauqua was very popular, especially here in Canton. They would take a, can you hear me? They would take a place and they would have weekly shows, and they might have different skits. They might have singers going on. They have a little bit of anything in this Chautauqua. We had a building that was built by Chautauqua money, and that was on the corner of First and Locust. Chautauqua was big, and it was enjoyable for everybody. Everybody on the town enjoyed it. So if you get a chance, make the Chautauqua, make the Dust Bowl, make the cemetery walk, and that's called redone because we've changed it so many times. There's a book too that talks about it. So please enjoy yourself for 9 days and 41 skits. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that history lesson there. He's always good for Canton history, so we appreciate that. So our next speaker, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening is Tom Homer. I'm sure he needs no introduction, but Tom is a 1965 Canton graduate. He graduated also from U of I in 1970 and Chicago Kent College of Law in 1974. He served in the U.S. Army Reserves as a commissioned officer from 1968 to 1976. He was our Fulton County State's Attorney. That's probably one of the ways you know him the best. He represented us at Fulton County from 1976 to 1982, and then he was our Illinois State Representative from 1982 to 1994. He also was the Justice of Illinois Appellate Court from 96 to 02, Legislative Inspector General from 2004 to 2014, and he's been a private attorney since 2014, mostly with Huck Mama, I believe, firm in Wheaton, Illinois. On a personal note, Tom has always been a good friend to the people, very common sense individual. He spoke to everyone, was always friendly. He represented, when he's in the state Illinois, as a state Illinois representative, he represented both sides. It didn't matter what side of the aisle you were on, Tom was always there to help you. So would you please help welcome Tom back to Canton?
Well, good evening, friends and fellow Cantonites. What an honor it is to be here with you tonight as we kick off the celebration of something truly extraordinary. 200 years of Canton, Illinois. Whatever successes I experienced in my career, I owe to the people of Canton and to Fulton County. And I want you to know I'm deeply grateful for the friendship and support. It was always a great source of pride to me to be recognized in Springfield as the gentleman from Canton. I'm also very appreciative for the positive influence that the community had on my 3 children who spent their formative years in Canton. Their nurturing childhood laid the foundation for the capable and compassionate individuals they have become. While I may no longer live in Canton, my roots are firmly planted here. Canton will always be my hometown. My grandfather, who shared my name, settled in Canton soon after the turn of the last century. He initially worked in the coal mines before becoming an innkeeper. Before World War II, my father was employed in the forge shop, like many of yours, at International Harvester. He later founded Homer Electric Company. Before the birth of my sister, my mother worked at Canyon Manufacturing, the overall factory. As we gather to mark 200 years of Canton's proud history, we celebrate not only the founders and their descendants, but also the many individuals and families who chose to make Canton their home. Canton has been shaped in part by those who were born and raised here and who have carried forward traditions, values, and civic spirit that made Canton what it is. But just as vital are those who arrived from elsewhere and saw in this town not just a place to live, but a place to invest their hopes, talents, and futures. They brought fresh perspectives, built businesses, joined our service organizations, sent their children to our schools, and made our community richer in every way. Whether by birth or choice, those who call Canton home share a common goal: to create a place of belonging, community, and pride. And that is what we celebrate tonight. Canton is a unique community. Here, residents shovel their neighbors' driveways before their own, care for each other's children, and keep an eye on each other's homes, and offer assistance when someone is in need. It's a place where community spirit shines. On Friday nights, Ingersoll Gymnasium and Memorial Stadium become gathering places for the town. Canton has always embraced a winning attitude. As a member of Canton's undefeated football team in 1963, thought I'd get in a plug. I truly felt that community spirit. Our conference included teams that were much larger, such as Galesburg, Pekin, Peoria Richwoods. But we didn't let their size intimidate us. Our coach, Tom Peeler, as Bill Weitze will attest, was an inspiring leader who constantly reminded us that we were playing for more than just ourselves. We were playing for and representing Canton. He emphasized that our success and dedication would reflect on our parents, and that the resilience of our team was the measure of the strength of our community. The bus ride home after the Galesburg game is etched in my memory. As the team bus neared Norris, seemingly an endless line of cars with headlights came into view, parked along the roadside and honking wildly. The celebratory parade to Canton stretched for over a mile, bringing to mind the final scene from the Field of Dreams. Much like our team standing firm against traditionally stronger rivals, Canton has consistently faced challenges head-on. It has stayed true to its promises, maintained its principles, and achieved success despite daunting obstacles. Coach Peeler was just one of many exceptional educators who helped shape my life. I have particularly fond memories of my first grade teacher, Miss Downs, who introduced me to the joy of learning. I'll never forget Charlie Walker, some of you will remember him, my high school English teacher, whose strict standards rivaled those of John Houseman's character in The Paper Chase. His tough love helped us succeed in college. Many others had a significant impact on my life, including the parents of my friends, who led by example in quiet but lasting ways. My first job was down the street working as a paper boy for the Daily Ledger. I later worked for my dad in his electrical business and for my uncle Sam Demler, who had a lumber yard on Lynn Street. I also worked at Peabody Coal Company in Norris, driving the water wagon for a couple of summers. For a time, you may not remember this place, but I certainly do, I pulled third shift at Mac's Coffee Shop, where I encountered some of Canton's more colorful characters who frequented the restaurant after the bars closed. Each of these jobs taught me something important, mainly that a career in law might just be an easier path. As an adult, I had the privilege of working alongside Canton's many forward-thinking leaders in various community projects. I am particularly proud how the community pulled together and rallied to win Governor Thompson's prison sweepstakes. As an example of creativity and ingenuity, Carol Davis, a Canton transplant, right, Carol, we stole her from Missouri, came up with the idea for Project Good Deed, in which the community raised money to purchase the land for the prison, a strong selling point for Canton's proposal. Canton has a rich history. We were founded in 1825 by Isaac Swan. His brother-in-law, Nathan Jones, donated the public square, where we stand today, for a business district. Generations of young people finally remember summer nights, cruising around the square, up North Main Street to the Dairy Castle, and looping back again with the occasional detour to Dog and Suds Restaurant or A&W. A recent Facebook post in the You Know You're From Canton If You Remember group sparked a wave of shared memories from those carefree days. Canton has had many benefactors since Nathan Jones. The Ingersolls, Parlins, Orndorffs, and Coleman, among others, have blessed Canton with their philanthropy over the years. More recently, Bill Cook and his family have had a profound impact on the community. But we all know that Canton's history is more than just philanthropists and dates in a book. It's been lived and felt by every family here. We faced our share of disasters, like the tornado of 1975 and the gas explosion in 2016 that rattled downtown. As with other small Midwestern communities, there have been economic storms as well, none more profound or long-lasting than the closure of International Harvester in '83, which disrupted the lives of many families, the pain of which we still carry in our hearts. But Canton doesn't back down. Canton rises. Canton rebuilds. Canton reimagines. We've proved it time and again. When jobs disappeared, Canton found new pathways. The opening of the Correctional Center brought hundreds of good-paying positions, and now Cook Medical stands proudly where International Harvester once thrived. A symbol of how the community has turned trials into triumphs. And let's not forget everyday heroes. Teachers, farmers, nurses, and small business owners who kept our engine running. And yes, many local legends. Charles Duryea, Steve Nagel, Dave Downey, Rich Johnson, Ethan Blackaby, Tom Zabrak, Kevin Rhodes, Boomer Grigsby, Bill Cook, to name some of the more prominent. Canton produces more than corn and coal. It produces character. This celebration is not solely for reflecting the past, it's also for envisioning the future. Canton's finest moments are not in the past, they are present now, found in the laughter of children, the emergence of new businesses, and in community leaders. Home to the Friendship Festival and Spoon River Scenic Drive, Canton draws people from all over the region, celebrating the city's community spirit with food, music, sport, and entertainment. Fulton County is a haven for sports enthusiasts, offering outstanding opportunities for fishing and hunting, as well as top-notch recreational facilities like Big Creek Park. By the way, what happened to that big above-ground pool? I drove out there, it's not there anymore. The one that had that window where you could go down and watch people. It's changed now, right? And Lakeland Park, which is quite an asset. Nearby attractions such as Banner Marsh, Rice Lake, and Weematech further showcase the area's natural beauty and outdoor appeal. The Chamber of Commerce and our local service organizations have played a vital role in shaping Canton into the community it is today. We owe special thanks to the Bicentennial Commission for its outstanding work in organizing and promoting the celebration over the next 10 days. Let's give them another. Canton is a town that proudly honors its heritage. Some believe that the name Little Giants is an oxymoron. However, I find it fitting. Canton is a small community with a giant heart. So let's celebrate 200 years of Canton for its grit, its grace, its greatness. And let's pledge to keep building a town that future generations will be just as proud to call home. Thank you for having me back. Happy Bicentennial, Canton.
Thank you, Tom, for sharing reminders to us about the strength of Canton, as well as sharing your personal story on how Canton has helped you both personally and professionally. So let's give Tom one more round of it. Also, Mayor McDowell, thank you very much. You, the alderman, the city of Canton, the city looks fabulous. Thanks for preparing us for today and everything, your leadership, Kent, to our city. So let's give him another. Public Works. And then Mike, for your passion, your leadership, leading us till today, 3.5 years ago. We started 4 years ago. We really appreciate your leadership. You are definitely an asset to our community. So let's give Mike another round of applause. Okay, so as a reminder, make sure you pick up your Bicentennial booklet, the official one over here on our merchandise table. It's got the schedule for the next 10 days. Also check on our social media sites, because there could be some things that change depending on the weather, or other events might change. So make sure you keep an eye on our social media sites. So now as the first day of our celebration comes to an end, there are 10 more days. 10 more days of exciting events, right, Carla?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
I just wanted to say thank you all for hanging out. I know there weren't any chairs, but there were cars driving, so. But I want to encourage you, we have a very large birthday cake behind us. Yes, I know that the candles are not standing up, We've done everything. Even Public Works was out here in the rain today trying to fix them. But hey, if you're 200 years old, your candles are looking like that. But you can come over here and get your picture taken with it. Enjoy the rest of your time. CantonIllinois.org is where you can find information. Or you can go to Canton, Illinois Bicentennial 2025 if you're a Facebooker. Then you can go there to get all of the details. So thank you for coming out. Thank you for being a part of this historical start to our bicentennial in Canton, Illinois. Let the party begin. Around 7:40. Stay with us.